everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast, and of course, this is the Friday for Memorial Weekend. What are you guys up to this weekend?
I'm not doing much, man. Honestly, I think I'm probably just gonna relax at the house and yeah, not too bad. I got a couple of buddies that I served with that are coming over, and people that I deployed with that are coming over, and we're gonna have a reminiscence of our combat time together and friends that we've lost.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Dustin? What are you up to?
Trying to recover from a painful loss last night. But if we're gonna lose, I'd rather have the best player in the state take us out. So,
okay.
Game ended up going into 11 innings, so another extra inning game, and he ends up hitting a 3-2 2-out walk-off grand slam.
Nice.
So if we're gonna go out, I'd rather go out that way to the best player in the state. If you're gonna end it that way,
I mean,
and how old was this kid?
He's a senior this year. He's going to Vanderbilt for baseball next year. So
35.
Wow.
Kid is 35 from the Dominican, but his birth certificate says 16.
Hey, you laugh like that's not a real thing, but okay.
Of course, that's a real thing.
So a 3-2.
We were up
2 out.
Yep.
Bases loaded. Grand slam.
Yep.
That's exactly what you dream about as a kid, right?
On
Like
the
when you're
bottom
playing
of
scenarios
Like
in your head.
that's absolutely like
Yep.
literally like that is the like that kid is going to wind up now being like one of the first picks in the draft.
in 2 years.
Right? Yeah.
Like literally that's where you go now. That's where you go from here.
Yeah.
That's like after you've done that, now you are the MLB first pick in the draft. Like you've accomplished the hey, I'm going to take that moment and expand on it.
Yeah. No, I mean, anytime you think about hitting a ball by yourself as a kid, like that is the exact scenario you threw up in your mind, right? So yeah,
That's crazy.
I like it.
Right,
Yeah,
so
for me, I got an easy weekend. It's my wife's birthday today, so happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Danielle.
And of
Happy
course,
birthday, wife.
we are headed over to the river, so we're just going to be hanging out, drinking beer on the river. It's gonna be
We
fun.
should say happy birthday. Can we say happy birthday?
Take me to the river.
That's right.
That's
And
like
no,
one of
you
them fish. The
happy
fish
birthday.
is to the water.
All right, I'll start it off. Happy birthday to
No,
you.
because YouTube will shut us down. It's a copyrighted song.
Happy birthday, Danielle.
Oh man.
Happy
That's
B Day. Can we say happy B Day? Happy B Day to Danielle.
It's actually the melody, I think, is what gets you. That's
Happy
why
birthday to Danielle.
that's why all
There
the
you go.
restaurants do the happy birthday and
That's weird that you can't sing that it's copyrighted. I mean, I thought that shouldn't be copyrighted.
I mean,
But it is. I get it. I thought it should.
I don't know. Anything could be copyrighted, really.
Well, that's true. You're damn right it can.
So what about you, Pags? What are you up to this weekend?
All right. So since you've asked, I'm going to Metallica tonight.
Nice.
I'm going to go see Jelly Roll and Post Malone tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm going to Metallica on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, I think I'm going to go fishing with my kids.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice. And Frankie, you might as well. That's going to be batting practice. Your guys are going to do great.
Oh, but that
And listen,
sounds like an
it's
amazing
the Yankees
weekend.
versus the Rockies because we just swept the Rockies, so I kind of expect now that you guys are going to get swept.
Mm.
Oh, you've been drinking a whole glass of Haterade this morning. I like it.
I'm about to say, wow. No, but that does. Man, you get Post Malone, Jelly Roll, and Metallica, and then you top it off with fishing with your kids. Hell,
It's a good weekend. That is a good weekend.
Yes, that is.
I'll drive you all around.
And then after that, it's interestingly enough, the Phillies are not playing on Memorial Day, which is odd.
Really?
That there's that Memorial Day is happening and there's no baseball. So
that's odd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It sounds very odd to me. I mean, we played on Easter.
Yeah.
Not Memorial Day.
Weird.
And interestingly enough, we play on Labor Day. Like Labor Day happens to be September 1st this year. So ultimately, we're playing on Labor Day. And,
I like this. Going to Legoland, but mostly that is fantastic.
I like Legoland. Can I come?
Right?
Can I get some Metallica and some Legoland? Just do a whole tour.
Hey, listen, talk about that on your own show, Jay.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'll be quiet now.
Here, we got to start planning our guys trip for 2 years. All-Star game's coming to Wrigley Field in 2027.
Hey, the All-Star game's coming to Philadelphia next season.
Yep, so we got to start
Oh,
planning.
nice.
We got to start planning the next 2 All-Star games in Philly and then in Wrigley the next 2 years.
It's yeah, because the 4th of July and stuff like that is like going to be the 250th anniversary of 4th of July here next year. It was like 76 and 26 type thing. It's so it's like literally everything's happening all in 1 year. And, I expect at that point we'll have 2 Lombardis in a row, just so that you guys will know that, don't have to worry about it. I've already seen it. We got, back-to-back championships here. And, then, maybe even a Stanley Cup happening all at the same time. Not that I see that with Rick Tocchet coaching this team, but you never know.
I might get the fortunate of seeing the Dallas Stars get the Stanley Cup this year. We're doing pretty good so far. We'll see.
Pretty good so far. Like, why? What happened?
Well, we took out Edmonton 6-3. So
yesterday.
Yeah, no, day before yesterday. Day before yesterday, because the Panthers won yesterday. So day before yesterday, we had game 1 versus Edmonton. And Pags, it was the weirdest damn. I was telling them, man, I was so depressed because we went down 3-1 by the end of the second period. And I'm thinking, like, nah, we're probably not coming back on this one. But man, I kid you not, that third period, Pags, they scored 5 goals. And in one quarter, it made it 6-3 to close it out. And I mean, it was phenomenal. And to Dustin's credit, as he pointed out, Skinner being kind of a rookie goalie, they really took advantage of that.
Well, I mean, you said to Dustin's credit, I feel like we can just wrap the show up right there. That's like a unicorn in itself. Series finale. There we go.
I don't know where do we go from there, man? Damn.
I mean, where do you sticking with hockey for a second though? Like, where do you go right now if you're the Carolina Hurricane? Because not only has Florida completely dog walked them the first 2 games of this series, but the Carolina Hurricanes have now lost 13 consecutive conference finals games. Like, if they cannot get through this conference finals, which it doesn't look like they're going to at some point, like as good of a coach as Rob Brindamore is, you have
10 goals, 10-2.
Yeah, 10-2.
They haven't scored a goal. They haven't scored a goal since, I guess, the third period. All right,
Yeah.
so it's at least.
Well, it sounds like Minnesota and Carolina should get together and try to figure it out, because Minnesota is getting blown out by OKC right now. So maybe those 2 teams should come together and say, "Hey, what should we do here differently?" Because you're obviously sucking too.
Yeah, like the Hurricane too. The Hurricane were winning game 1-0, like midway through the first period. Then they let up 5 unanswered goals, and then they scored like a garbage time goal in the third period, and then they just got completely just blitzkrieg last night. And now they've lost 13 straight conference finals games. Or if they get swept, I mean, you have to look at Rob Brindamore and be like, well, you're a great coach. Like, there's no denying you're not a great coach. That's why we're top 2 seed every year. But we can't just go to the conference finals every year and just get crushed. Like, you need to figure out how to get us over this hump. Or we're going to have to find somebody else that can.
Yeah, we're going to have to find somebody that misses the playoffs altogether.
Hey, Frankie, I bet I can name more players on the Stars than you can on the Bruins, killer.
That's because he's looking at the Google right now.
He is, but I'm not looking at Google, and I can tell you Ottinger, Singler, Rantanen, Harley, Hintz, Granlund. Okay, should I keep going?
Yeah, Jamie Benn. He missed the most popular one.
You hush your mouth.
Well,
The
that's
point of the
because
matter is, he said I can only name one
Google
player.
and
I can only name one player, and I named off several. So shut your mouth. He probably is looking at Google, though.
I was talking about you. Just reading them off the screen.
Oh, you're talking about me? No. I can do it. Hey, listen, Pags, when Pags came out that one time and said, Jason, or said talking about Rantanen scoring that hat trick, and he said the fact that Jason took the reaction.
Yeah.
No, he was
back-to-back hat tricks.
Well, you know what I'm saying? And he said, Jason, the fact that you didn't recognize that tells me you don't know your players. You know, I took that personally. And I watched every single game after that, and I learned them players' names. Thank you, Pat.
You know, and interestingly enough, I did say that they had to take care. Dallas had to take care of one player. They have to protect themselves against one player, Draisaitl. He's been a factor in all 3 goals that they've scored up to this point. The fact that they scored 6 means that they can't go on to the power play because that's what's going on there. They are getting smoked on the power play.
Right.
Like, that's literally, it's like, what was it? They went 3 for 6, 3 for 7 on the power play, 3 for 4 on the power play.
Yeah.
So,
and with that also
on the power play.
So would that basically reinforce what Stag was saying about the fact that Skinner is less experienced? So when you're on that power play, it's not like you got an experienced guy like Ottinger who can kind of hold his own when Skinner kind of can't really necessarily do that. Is that kind of what you were getting at, Stag?
And yes and no. Like Skinner he's a middle of the road goalie. He's never been great. And the problem with that is he's played with Connor McDavid and Draisaitl. So you know that they're going to be putting up goals left and right. So you don't have to be like one of these top goalies in the NHL because you know you're going to get about 4 goals a game out of those 2. But when they need you the most, if you can't make saves, the end result is what you got in game 1, where once the floodgates open, there ain't no stopping them with anything.
Yeah. Well, and obviously they play tonight. Game 2 in Dallas, so if we could just snag game 2, I'd feel really good going into Edmonton.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I think that Carolina's getting spanked. Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. Anderson's not strong enough. Bobrovsky is now locked in. So. I now suspect that Florida will repeat.
Do you think they get back-to-back
ties? He should still be friggin' the goalie for the Flyers, but Ed Snyder wanted to try to get Stanley Cup right away before he died, and made that trade.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is PU. They have been playing PU.
And the thing with Bobrovsky too is when you're watching him in the playoffs, he's like a bottle of fine wine, and one of those bottles that gets better with age. Like Bobrovsky was always a good goalie, but the last 3 years he's been at his best the older he's gotten.
Yeah. And ultimately it's I think that I don't think there's a doubt in my mind. I think right now that Florida is with the way that I'm looking at, and I haven't seen one play, not one drop of the puck at all, between Kachuk and
Marchand. Bennett.
Varangi is that how you say his name? I don't even know.
Or Carter Verhaeghe.
Verhaeghe, yeah.
Yeah, Carter Verhaeghe, Sam Bennett.
Yeah, it's like that.
Careful, this is also the same guy that says Berlin as Berlin. So careful who you're asking back. I'm just saying. Careful.
Veregi sounds about right. Just the way it looks like. They're just straight out destroying them. And I can imagine that Carolina's got nothing. Nothing right now. That was 2 games at home against Carolina. Carolina was at 2 games at home.
Yeah.
That Florida, they have to come out and go nuts. Like, first off, I mean, in the first 10 minutes of this game, I'm taking whatever guy is going to stand up and go after Kachuk. You got to go after him. You got to fight him. Like, that's a fight. You're like almost right at the beginning of the game. This is when USA and Canada fighting each other, and then it was like the Kachuk versus whoever, and then the other Kachuk versus whoever. Like, this is one of those situations. It don't matter if you get your ass kicked. You got to go after him and spark your team right away. Right away. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. You got to go back to old school hockey a little bit. Just if my opinion. If you want to have a chance.
When you have friends like this, who needs enemies?
Again, said it pre-show, epidermis just gets thicker and thicker.
You look at what the Panthers are doing right now. This is exactly what the Tampa Bay Lightning did a couple years ago when they won back-to-back Stanley Cups, got to the Stanley Cup for the 3rd straight year before finally losing. Like, they were one of those teams that was always good in the regular season, but they didn't need to have the best record. But once they got to the playoffs, they just completely flipped another switch. And just whether it was Steven Stamkos, Martin St. Louis, like that group of players they had, like they were scoring goals left and right. And like this Panthers team is doing the same thing that they did when they were going for their 3-peat. They're just endless depth, endless talent, and just so playoff experienced right now.
Yeah.
And know when the drawing will be next week.
I tell you, Wen is all over it.
She wants
with your drawing.
Well, it's a Tyler Lockett signature card.
That's what they want right there. They want that card.
Yeah. Maybe you should get rid of that little caricature because it really does. You know, you can put all your promo stuff right in his hand. It's actually kind of a.
I know, right? Like it's actually kind of helpful right there.
I was gonna say, it's funny that you said you wanted to get rid of it, and I'm like, why would you get rid of that? I don't know.
No, I'm just gonna give it. I'm gonna give it away. Like I don't really have a need for it.
No, I think it's perfect right there.
I do too. I think it's kind of completes your little get up there.
Well, we'll see.
And the fact that it's holding that thing up there perfectly.
Yeah,
like it's literally, it's like cool. I got your card right here.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. It might grow on me. It might end up staying. I don't know. We'll see.
It's like having a mini Pags right there all the way by your side all the time.
So the drawing was anybody that's following my YouTube or subscribe to it is the name will be drawn from that subscription list. So and what triggered it is hitting the 1,000 mark is what's giving it away. So we're up over 1,000 now. So you have a 1 in 1,000 chance of winning said card. There you go.
So can I switch over to the WNBA for like a minute?
Sure.
Because I sent you guys that clip in the group chat this morning. Did you see Angel Reese last night?
No.
She played 27 minutes, had 12 rebounds.
Okay.
She had 2 points. And she was 0 for 8 from the floor. And the clip that I sent you was a clip where she got 5 offensive rebounds and missed 5 layups within 3 feet.
Yeah, with their signature move.
It is absolutely
there's 4 rebounds right here.
Yeah, it's absolutely pathetic how terrible she is on offense. And yet she thinks that she is the face of the WNBA. Like, it is absolutely pathetic after you watch this clip how pathetically bad she is at shooting the basketball. Because these misses weren't even close. She's like 3 feet away from the hoop, and they are coming up short.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
I mean, at some point you got to kick the ball back out,
like,
right?
Literally, she doesn't even care. Like, there's 2 open shooters, and one's in the corner, and then one's at the top of the key. Where all she's got to do is get that rebound and kick it out for an open 3. She's like, nope, I go for the layup. Nope, I missed rebound. Nope, I missed rebound.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't help her own case in that But I mean, unfortunately, shooting across the WNBA isn't awesome. So like game 1 for the Storm, right? They shot 33% from the field, 17% from 3.
Then you watch the
that is so bad.
And then you watch the New York Liberty last night. They shot 32 for 58 from the floor, which is 55%. 19 for 34 from 3, which is 55%.
I mean, like 50% shooting I'll take when you're down in the teens, or the 30s from the field, because that includes layups and stuff, right? Like that is not amazing to me. And when you're seeing like 10-point quarters, it's like, man, I can tell you, like they play defense, sure, but I mean, if you got a 10-point quarter, it means the ball's not going in. So it's
And I'd be curious to know like how many shots it even took to get the 10 points.
Well, that's my point.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's my point. Is the shots aren't going in. So to see Reese doing that, it's just like, yeah. Unfortunately, it's a little more common across the league than it should be. The only thing that she has on everybody else is she does get her own rebound. Like for whatever reason, people can't box her out.
It's because they don't want to get a cheap shot from her. Because if they tried to box her out, she'd probably shove the person 3 feet across the floor like she did against the Fever.
Well, then you get a foul.
I mean, they didn't call it in the Fever game.
Well, obviously calls get missed.
I'm going to just turn into a lot more Chicago Sky games now, just because I want to see just her make a complete fool of herself, because it is an absolute comedy show right now, how pathetically bad she is on the offensive end.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is she's not supposed to be the lead scorer. The fact that they keep trying to make her that is ridiculous. Right. Like, I look at Caitlin Clark and you're like, okay, that's Curry, right? Like that's right. When you look at Reese, you're like, okay, that's Rodman. He averaged 7 points for his career.
Or even Draymond. Like someone who's not going to score, they're just going to get rebounds and do a lot of.
That's my point. Is that's the position she's designed to be playing, and they keep trying to make her score, but that's not what she's good at.
No,
like let her be defense and rebounding, because she excels at that.
She's very Draymond. She's very Draymond, especially with the way she talks. Like she likes to get people's heads, I think, talking on the court. So she's very Draymond.
Well, I mean, Rodman did that.
Oh yeah, Rodman did do it as well. He's almost saying if Rodman and Draymond had a baby, it'd be Angel Reese.
That took a weird turn, but okay, yeah, sure, we can go that route. But yeah, no, I mean, it's that's probably the worst part about it is, you have Reese, you have Cardoza. Neither one of them are great scorers, and they're the people that they keep trying to make their scorers.
Yeah.
Well, she's definitely not scoring.
No,
she can't score at all.
No, I mean, she should be getting that off
free throw. She has no touch whatsoever. All she does is push people out of the way and get a rebound.
I mean,
which would mean that maybe she'd be smart enough to start getting a lot of assists.
That's what I'm saying. She needs to be getting that board and kicking it out instead of trying to put it up, because it's not going in and she's not getting better at it. Right.
Yeah.
So
she needs to keep making rebounds and assists.
Especially if you got 4 people down there under the basket, you know what that means? All of your teammates are open.
Mm-hmm. And if they miss, you know what that's going to mean? You get the rebound and you kick it out to somebody else, because it's still going to be open. Right.
So, yeah.
It's like she could be leading the league in 2 categories, which would be rebounds, assists. I mean, that'd be amazing. She had to worry about that. It's not always about the points. If you're good at rebounding and assisting, that's huge in of itself.
Well, you got to know your role, right? Like if you're not your primary scorer, if you are the defense and rebounder, then your assists should be off the charts. Like you should have a ton of rebounds and a bunch of assists.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Caitlin Clark is half Italian. Just the good half.
I wonder what the other half is. Half Italian.
Clark.
Yep. Definitely like and subscribe. Definitely appreciate that shout out there, Chad. She's also half man. Jesus Christ. What are we doing here?
Hold on. Don't even put it up there. I'm not even looking at the comments. I guarantee that was probably a Frankie comment.
Oh, of course it's Frankie.
Is it crazy when you know somebody and you don't even have to see the comment or even have it on the screen? Just somebody says out loud and says, "Yep, that's Frankie."
Oh yeah. No, it's nonstop nonsense in the chat. But,
and 90% of the nonsense in the chat is unfortunately Frankie.
I mean, there's a good,
or at least a good 85.
There's a good percentage of it, but Joe chimes in. Chris is there. Brad shows up. It's a group effort.
You know what? I haven't seen Chris in a minute.
Yeah,
Chris,
I think yesterday.
I'm sorry that I yelled at you the other day. Wasn't my fault. I have had a lot of stuff going on, and I took it out on you, and I apologize, Chris.
Yeah, you really hurt his feelings big time.
I haven't seen him not post not once, and I haven't received any messages from him at all.
Yeah. Chris is over there. He's a little butthurt right now.
Well, I haven't seen him. I don't know if he's following anymore or not, if he joins in our show or not.
I thought I saw him here yesterday making comments with Joe or somebody on the side. That was something he put it.
The only thing I heard that he said he gave a frowny face.
Nice.
So I apologize, Chris. It's don't see I even knocked Bo out now because of this.
I think he lost his sound.
Yeah, I think he probably did lose his sound. You can't get to 1,000 subscribers pissing him off like you did with Joe. You can't get there. You probably already are there, but you might lose a couple.
I'm supposed to be a sports superhero. It's funny that you say that. I have been dealing, with something that's like more on the personal side, and because of it, it's really been affecting a lot of different things with me and the Philly sports guy. It's been very frustrating in general. And it's, literally it's been, I know that I have not been myself here probably the last 6 weeks. And, this too shall pass, as they say. And I'm waiting for it to pass because, damn it, it's been a rough ride here a little bit. I am sure. I might as well fucking tell you. Why not? Let's go to town. I have an ex-girlfriend who is making my life absolutely miserable. Straight out lying on the internet about things that I'm doing. It has been like she's been reaching out to friends of mine and things like that, and just saying lies and doing things. She's all butthurt because I broke up with her, and it's been so ungodly frustrating because I have not been able to respond because I've taken the high road. And when you take the high road, you got to do the things that you're supposed to do. Like, okay, I'm just going to remain quiet. This is not going to, nobody's going to find out, if I just keep my head down, she'll get over it. This will all pass. And it ain't passed. This hasn't passed a little bit. She keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming. I think of it, I compare it to like when you have an electric bill that's due. And you finally, okay, I'm done with the messages from you. And then they sell it to a new company. And that company starts to hound you and starts to mark your credit again and stuff like that. And then another company comes and marks your credit. I mean, it has been relentless. And I haven't spoken to this girl. I haven't done anything. And it has been absolutely frustrating. It's incredibly frustrating. And this girl, just to, put her out there a little bit too, because damn it, she put all my life out there a little bit. Her last ex-boyfriend, she shot in the face 5 times and wound up in jail for 15 years. So, um, I've got the mother of my
Wow.
children who is nervous about this and all this stuff, and I've kept very quiet about it. It's been very, very frustrating to allow her to say all the things and straight out lie about me, like lie about the fact that I you know abused her in all these different ways, and I'm such a narcissist, and I am like things with the kids and stuff like that. It's been it's been a nightmare. It has been an absolute nightmare. I haven't been eating. I have lost 15 pounds. It has been, when you hear me going off here a little bit and going nuts, and like where it has nothing to do with anything on this show. It's because I have been completely and utterly frustrated about what's going on in my life. And it seems like I can't do anything about it. The only reason why I'm even opening up on this show is because, not talking about you guys that are here, and I appreciate everybody who's watching right now, but nobody watches this fucking show. Nobody pays attention like that. You know what I mean? That's the only reason why I'm even opening up a little bit, because it has been an absolute nightmare, an absolute nightmare. It's cost me $25,000. It's cost me 2 or 3 clients that I know of,
Yeah.
because this girl is just straight out lying. And I have not done anything except break up with her. And because I don't have anything, I can't do anything else. I'm literally just trying to take the high road and hoping that this just ends. But no, I had to reach out to her parole officer to try to get just to get a little bit of friggin' relief. It has been yesterday. The reason why I wasn't on was because I had to let this go for a little while. I had to release this to a friend of mine, because it's been bottled up and bothering me nonstop. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I don't like I'm not somebody who gets bullied very well. If you're going to bully me, I'm going to bully you back. And in this scenario, everybody has told me that I need to take the high road, because what she's saying isn't going to matter, isn't getting out to enough people. And I tell you, it has messed up, it has gummed up my works, just me personally, and how I deal with things for literally the last 6 to 8 weeks. We broke up January 1st, and this girl is still trying everything she can, because she's got nothing better to do but to try to ruin my life. And I've just let it all happen. Everybody has been telling me, you got to just let it happen. It's going to stop. She's eventually going to end. And she don't stop. And she just keeps going and going and going. And all I did was break up with her, mostly because of the way that she is, because she's bad energy in general. And all she's done is just blah, 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 blah. You could say whatever you want to in the state of Pennsylvania, anything you want to, and it's not illegal. You could straight out lie about somebody, and that's what she's done. She straight out lies, straight out says that I have done things. And not only that, put every bit of my private life out there. Like I have a private life that I like to keep private, because there are things that I do that it's very consensual and everything, but it's like I would rather not be out in the open. It's my life, you know what I mean? I get to do things, like I'm a human being. I get to do stuff like that. Nope, she put it all out there. She just straight out. She just trying to destroy my life, all because I don't like her anymore. And it has been a fucking nightmare. A fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
So that's what's been going on with my life. That's what's been happening. If you wonder why I flip out and like all of a sudden will go after Jay about something dumb, or go after Dustin, or talk about the Sixers like I'm a madman, it's because I'm trying to deflect.
Yeah, well, it was funny because I was actually going to reach out to you on if that saga was still continuing. Because, I mean, the first time he broke up with her was last year.
I remember when he broke up with her. I didn't know any of this was going on. I guess I don't have it. Doesn't show up in my feed or whatever.
Ultimately, because I have tried to not bring it up. Like, this is not something that it's not for everybody here. This isn't something that, I'm not trying to put it all out there, because once it gets all out there, then everybody can make up their own stories about what they think and feel.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This has been very, very hard. And I have thought about making a video and posting it. I have thought about, and to be honest, it's like, when all is said and done, in the midst of even just doing this on this show right here, right now, in the midst of doing just this, it's possible that it could be misconstrued, and that people could take this the wrong way, just because I'm so fed up and frustrated about it all, because it doesn't matter. And the Philly sports guy may wind up getting canceled because I'm a human being that actually has feelings. And that this girl has gotten to me so much that I can't stop. I just can't get her to stop. Everything, it's just been straight out lies, straight out just whatever she feels like saying, she can say. And it's legal in the state of Pennsylvania, because as long as she's not threatening my life, I can't get a cease and desist. I gotta go through legal channels to try to get her to shut up. And her parole officer, I called the parole officer. Parole officer gets back to me and doesn't get back to me. Hasn't spoken to me. I've been like, listen, you told me to get a hold of you. She's been reaching out to friends of mine. She's reached out to my girlfriend. Reached out to, like, she just does not stop. Does not stop. And all I want to do is move on with my life. I liked this girl at one point. This was I understood, hey, I met this girl. I know that she had a past, and I dealt with her, and I got into a relationship with her beyond that, because, like, I felt people can change. This girl is a psychopath, and a narcissistic psychopath.
Yeah.
And she has been literally, I mean, she's got the mother of my children scared. Like, the mother of my children is nervous to have my kids come to my apartment, because she's afraid that at some point she could come here and do what she did the last time that somebody broke up with her.
Yeah, I could understand that. I could understand that rationale.
Yeah.
I could understand that rationale. I mean, look, I was a prison guard. She's a convict, shooting the guy 15 or 5 times in the face. Yeah, she sounds like a woman that's not going to give up ever. Unless something drastically,
and it has been an absolute nightmare,
absolute nightmare.
And I figured, you know what? Eventually, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. The problem is, and realistically, what I think the problem is that she maybe felt love for the first time in her life when she was seeing me. That I actually was doing things right for her, where I mean, it was a tumultuous relationship. It went back and forth. It's like like any other relationship, you know what I mean? But ultimately, when we spoke and broke up, it was amicable. I told her, I'm like, listen, this is toxic. We need to stop this. I want the best for you. Obviously, I'm not it, because all we do is fight. All we do is go at each other. She would rather fight with me than live the rest of, than just move on with her life. And in fact, and that's what she's doing. She's trying everything she can. And it has been really, really tough. And
there are women out there, though, Pags, that have a hard time letting go.
Mm-hmm.
I got a buddy of mine right now who's in a relationship, but he had 2 other priors, and they were stalking him, and they were coming out. You can't make this up. They were coming out the bushes, like following him. Women are crazy. Like this day and age, you damn near got to filter these women before you get involved in a relationship with them because you got to take their past. You
need a PR team that pre-screens.
Damn
it! It's like somebody calling into a radio show.
Like you do. You damn near have to because you don't know what you're getting involved in sometimes until it's too late.
And that's exactly it. This has been one of the worst experiences of my life. And I have been trying to do it like I said, nobody's known. Nobody's heard about this. I've done my best to keep this under wraps. Like I said, I felt like maybe I needed to come out with this a little bit right now because I just don't know what else to do.
Have you talked to your agent?
I can't make a post about it. I can't do whatever. This is real life here. You know what I mean? This is real life. Sports.
Have you talked to your agent though?
Oh yeah, my agent. Well, my agent's trying to protect, the brand. He's like, listen, you can't post about this because ultimately I have, I have 500,000 followers in all of my different spots here. You know what I mean? Out of those 500,000, there are maybe 800 people who know what's going on. And out of those 800 people, 500 of them are on my side. So it's not like that. It's not like that this is out for the world to see. You know what I mean? It's like, but I'm considering like stopping being the Philly sports guy because of this. Like that maybe I got to go back to being a friggin' stonemason. And where I'm not bothering anybody. And it's frustrating to me because I've worked so hard to get to this, to get to this point. And she, by straight out just lying, she gets to say whatever she wants, and people get to believe whatever they want. She can play a victim. And by playing a victim, it's like, it doesn't matter if she's the victim because she's the woman, and that's that. Her, when she speaks her truth, her truth can be whatever it wants to be, and doesn't matter whether it's real truth or not. That, and people hear that and they immediately think. I've had people come up to me now recently. I mean, because it's like I said, a lot of this stuff has been online. And I've heard about it. They're like, wow, like they're telling the mother of my children, they're like, yeah, he doesn't seem like a predator. Of course I'm not a friggin' predator. Yeah. It's like, she's going out there and saying, hey, I prey on single mothers. So I am 52 years old. If I'm going to date somebody, there's a good chance they've got kids already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what am I doing? At least they ain't going after married women. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to say here. It's like you can make the truth sound however you want it to sound. And in the state of Pennsylvania, it's very, very weird on how the rules go.
I'm surprised there's not something that will keep her from slander, right? Because like I remember seeing one of her posts, right, on TikTok. And I mean, it seems like there should be some sort of slander law. I mean, there is most places.
But there isn't really, because it's a freedom of speech. This goes back to the First Amendment.
That's
it sounds very odd, but that's
a weird take on it.
So, you can't take her to court personally and file a lawsuit for defamation of character. You can't take her.
No. I can. However, I mean, think about that. That's a civil situation. It's not criminal.
Right.
And it's going to take however long. And in the meantime, so the moment you start to do that, the person that you're suing against gets to double down. They get to do whatever they want to do. And so they can get public opinion against you. Like it's ultimately a fight. The good thing is that I've done things right for the last 7 years. That I have done everything. Like I don't go drinking out there. I don't go whoring around. You know what I mean? I keep my private life private. And I have done nothing except bring smiles to people's faces.
Yeah.
Like this has been an absolute friggin' nightmare. This has been so difficult. And like I said, it's like it's affected everything else about what I've got going on. Like I said, even right now, like starting out this show, coming on yesterday, I couldn't come on because I spent an hour just talking to somebody about this because I just needed to be able to release it. It has been like a traffic jam in my life because that's how I operate. Like I am a happy-go-lucky guy. I don't like being negative. I am real big on bullying. If I see somebody bullying somebody else, I go to the defense. You know what I mean? And I protect people. And I've been getting bullied here nonstop. It has been a nonstop situation. And I have not been able to do anything about it. There's been it's like I said, and even this conversation right now could have negative effects on the Philly Sports Guy brands.
If they want to grab sound bites out of it, I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff for it. I mean, it's the internet is an interesting place.
It can be good and it can be evil.
So, I mean, it's spending time with my kids this weekend. It's like going to be the first time that they're going to spend the night here because, like I said, I'm going to make sure that there's, because I'm going to protect my children more than anything else. And the fact that she has brought them into this situation has really, really got me boiling.
I'm surprised there's not something you could do on that front because they're minors.
There have been a lot. There's been a lot of support. In the midst of this, there has been a tremendous amount of support, and I am very thankful for that. Because, like I said, it's like in most of the times, most of the things that I've ever done in my life, I've been out there on the island. I've done this on my own. I get through things on my own. I am not somebody who likes to talk about what I got going on in my life because it's not anybody's business. And I feel like that it's just, maybe I look at it as a sign of weakness. You know what I mean? Not that it's for everybody. It's just that I am going to keep my life to me. And it's just, if I've got something going wrong, I got to work it out in my own head. And there are a very, very, very small circle of people that I'm able to have that conversation with. But this has been something that has gone beyond that now. Like it is going way beyond, and I'm flabbergasted. I'm at a loss. I don't know what else to do. And like I said, it's like if I go and I have the conversation, like I'm doing right now, where I actually show a little bit of passion, that could be misconstrued as I'm trying to, sway the story.
Sure.
Listen, we dated. We went out for a while. I liked this girl. Was I in love? For a minute, maybe. You know what I mean? But then ultimately, it ended. It ended. We broke up like normal human beings do. Most times they move on. It's depressing for a little bit, and then you got to move on. Not this girl. This girl is outwardly trying to ruin my life and ruin my name. And has cost me clients, has cost me money, and has scared a lot of people around me for me. And to get bullied like that is not something I'm able to handle well. It's like I am boiling here about it.
Well, yeah, because when it started out, she tagged some of your sponsors and stuff.
Yeah, she still is. Still
is.
Everything that she does. You know, it's like.
Can't you do like a no contact order for that part though, where she can't contact your sponsors?
No, I can't. I
you can
can't
only
do that
for
at
him.
all.
Like, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, I
Since
can't
it's just
do
for
that
him,
at all.
but not
And
social
let me
media.
tell you, I've gotten an email saying, "Hey, listen, there's been some stuff that we've been reading, and for the moment, we're going to do a little bit more research, but for the moment, got to stop. Can't do it.
Yep.
Can't do it with you." And it's like, there's nothing that I've done that deserves that. There's nothing that I've done. I have not even attacked her in the midst of doing this. And like I said, I've kept my mouth shut. I've done things the way that I'm supposed to. I have taken the high road, and the high road has done nothing but continue to get me bullied. And I just, I don't know what else to do about it. Like I said, I don't know. The frustration has boiled over so much that you guys get to hear it, that the world gets to hear it through this podcast. And it's so odd for me. It's so difficult to be able to have this type of conversation, because ultimately I feel like that, there is some good in this girl.
Sure.
I was supportive of her. When her brother had cancer, we'd be in the middle of a fight. And then I'd realize that it wasn't with me that she's fighting, because her brother had cancer and that she had to expel it. And like, I kind of walked her through that. I felt that she was, like, hey, listen, I think that you're smart enough to start your own business. You could do this on your own. Let's start to try to do things that way. Like, I was always trying to be very positive towards her. To have this type of negative reaction just because I've decided not to see her anymore and no longer date her anymore just blows my mind. And then to find out that the rules are very strong for people that want to cry victim. And that's
But
what
and I
she's
think
doing.
your case is probably one of the biggest things about. We talk about athletes, we talk about all these other people who get involved in these kinds of things. Not that it's their fault. It's just like you have a victim of circumstance sometimes. And when you have a brand that you have, unfortunately, you do open yourself up to those kinds of things, because like this woman here probably was scorned because she, like you said, you probably gave her something that she hadn't had. And when you broke up with her, it just affected her so deeply. Maybe she thought she would never get it again. So then she automatically, in her mind, probably thought, well, he's a famous guy. I'll get back at him because I know if I tag X, Y, and Z,
It's
and that's
easier.
that's her way of getting
She
back,
and
right?
she told me she was going to. She was.
Yeah.
I know. Like, she told me that she was going to be vindictive. She said it to me, and because I didn't record it, because I didn't have the camera going, saying, "Hey, you're literally trying to do this to me."
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all hearsay. She can cry victim all she wants, and
Yeah.
she's a woman and she's a pretty girl. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of guys that are like, yeah, I'll think of, yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, just trying to better.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course. Of
That's
course.
I've had a couple of guys. I won't call them friends, but guys that I had their back. And they were not, when they were in bad situations, and I had their back and I spoke well of them, and guys that have gone behind my back in the process of this.
Mhm.
And hey, listen, and you know what? When you get to do what she's doing, and when you want to manipulate people like that, she knows exactly what she's doing and how she wants to do it. So let me tell you, I'm not going to say that she's done things that, that are overly promiscuous, but you could take that for yourself. You know what I mean? She's able to manipulate people very well because she's learned how to do it over a time span when she had nothing else to do. And I should have maybe I made a bad decision dating her in the first place. Maybe that's what I'm guilty of. And that deserves the amount of stress and situation that's occurring here. But I don't believe that. I believe people deserve second chances. I believe that people are inherently good until they show and prove that they're not good. And, she's going out of her way to show me that this decision was a very bad decision.
And it's sad because I know you are a caring person. I know that personally from personal experience that you're a good person. And it does hurt me to see that this lady do this to you because I do know who you are. And it sucks because you shouldn't have to be going through this. And it's unfortunate that there's people in this world that will do those kinds of things. Unfortunately, as it is, it sucks. It fucking sucks. Well,
it's tough because soon as you put yourself into the public eye, everything you want to do, it's all still protecting the brand because you have to. Because
you have to.
That is your job.
And by doing this, it shows she's trying to get clout. Like this is all clout. This is clout chasing, and her, in a weird way, trying to get me back. It's so odd that you looked at it that way. That she's kind of doing this to try to get me back.
I've never understood, and you've seen it happen a million times, but I've never understood this stance to try and get someone back. All that does is drive a harder wedge. I've never.
But Bo, she's clearly sick. Look, you have to have something going on up here that makes you think that because that's irrational thinking. So that's already. She's got something going on.
It's not unique to her though. You've seen that
action
play out millions of times, and it's just a bizarre stance.
Yeah, they made a movie called Fatal Attraction all about it. Unfortunately.
So I'm sorry to have hijacked, this show before the holiday. It's like I said, but you know what? Maybe I guess I feel a little bit better. You know what I mean? Maybe sometimes you just need to get it out, and the fact that it's out there a little bit, and she can't see it because obviously I have her blocked, so she would have to go through somebody else to see this happen. And it may have a retaliation that comes back to, because of this. And ultimately it's, these are things that I've understood, you know what I mean? It's the reason why I've had to not do anything at the moment and try to remain, diligent on keeping the high road. But it's, like I said, it has been an absolute nightmare, Yeah. And, I hope that I don't wish this on anybody. I wish that she could find happiness and just stop, that this could just end. It just has to end. I don't need to be vindictive. I don't need to call her out. I don't need to push the buttons further. Just want it to end. I want her to be happy. Stop forcing everybody to be miserable around you.
Yeah.
All the things that you're saying aren't true, and you know it too. But I can't make somebody feel and think a certain way. They're going to do things as they need to do things. And so that is my challenge.
I got to say, I didn't see my computer just having a hard crash out triggering that, but
yeah, well, but sometimes, and again, Pags, man, I wish I would have known. I would have liked to have been there for you like you've been there for me, man, because I hate to see that you going through that, brother. I really do. I hate that.
You know what? Like I said, and that's the hard part about this. Like I said, I keep this quiet because it's not anybody's business. It really isn't. And I don't want to try to push the envelope and get people doing this. But it's boiled over so much that I've had to talk about it. I had to let people know exactly why I have been the way I have been recently. And it's the holiday. We get like 4 days off. I'm not going to be back on again till Wednesday. I think that, maybe I want everybody to have a great holiday, a wonderful time with their families, and, get themselves mentally correct and feeling better and things like that. Because, like I said, this has been such a challenge for me, and like I said, the last 2 months of this, and it's been going on since January 1st. Like, don't think that it's not been. But like I said, it's I wish everybody the best. I hope that everybody has a good, safe, and happy holiday weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, before you get in, what's the prediction on the fish count you expect to catch?
4, but we send them all back. We're not really. Yeah, from something that's like a little fish like that to like a bass.
Yep. And this show here, we will resume on Wednesday. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Watching on Roku, stay tuned. And otherwise, have a good 4 days off and try and enjoy yourself wherever you are.
Happy Memorial Day, guys. Peace.